Hi book friends, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen's Reading Room, and today I'm going to be talking about Victoria Schwab. Okay, so continuing on with my author reading goals this year, there are 5 different authors that I absolutely love. They're some of my favorite authors. And I wanted to get caught up on all their books this year. So that means reading everything that they've written that I haven't read and any new books that would come out this year. And one of those authors is Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab, depending on if you're reading adult or children's books. She writes her adult books under V.E. Schwab, and she writes her YA and kids books under Victoria Schwab, but it's the same person. And she is such an amazing writer. So first off, I wanted to make sure that I got caught up on her Cassidy Blake series, which is a middle grade series, paranormal mysteries, and they're so good. I read City of Ghosts last year and I loved it. So this year I did reread that to get myself all freshened up on the series, and then I did read last month's Tunnel of Bones, which is the second book in the series, and I loved it. So good. And then the last book in the series that's out right now is Bridge of Souls, which takes place in New Orleans, and I actually just finished this last night. So yay, got another one done. And I loved it. It was my favorite of the series so far. So good. Then I found another middle grade series she had that I didn't even know about called Everyday Angel. I don't know when this came out or even really that much what it's about, except it's about a girl. It says, meet a magical girl like no other from an author like no other, which is true. And this is actually the bind up of all 3 books in the series. So my plan is to read this for one of my books for middle grade May. So this is one that I want to read. And then moving on to young adult. For young adult, the only books I haven't read by her yet is the Archive series. I think there's a different name for it, the Dark something, but I can't remember what the name of the series is now. But there's the Archived and the Unbound. And as far as I know, I think this is just a duology, but I have heard that there might be a 3rd book at some point. But sometimes Victoria Schwab, she tends to not finish her series up quickly. Like there'll be a huge gap between books. I think there was a huge gap between these 2. I haven't honestly heard that much about this series. I did hear a lot of frustration because the people were waiting for the second book forever, but I have both of them, the Archived and the Unbound, and I need to read them. And then for her adult books, I need to read Vengeful. I read Vicious last year, the first book in this duology, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. So I'm excited to read Vengeful, hopefully soon. And then the last book I have is The Near Witch, which is a book that I guess she released like a really long time ago. I think it was one of her first books. And then they just did a re-release of it with a new cover, which I love this cover. I think last year or the year before, I can't remember. But yeah, so this is just a standalone book. I actually don't really know a lot about it, but it does say one for Neil Gaiman fans, which sounds accurate when you think of V.E. Schwab. So yeah, I'm hoping to read that. So I think I'm down to, I had 7 on my list for the year, and I'm down to 5 now. So that's actually not too bad. I don't know if she has any new books coming out this year. I haven't heard of any, but I've also not been great on keeping up with new releases lately. So if any do come out, I will add those to my list, but I don't really think there are that I'm aware of. So and then her other books I've already read, which she's one of my favorite authors. I've read her most famous ones, I guess, the Shades of Magic trilogy, which is my favorite by her. I absolutely love that. And then I've also read Our Savage Song and Our Dark Duet duology, which was also really amazing. So I'm excited to continue on with my Victoria Schwab kick. I would say my favorite book by her is probably The Conjuring of Light, which is a 3rd book from the Darker Shades of Magic, or from Shades of Magic series, sorry. That is probably my favorite by her. So leave me comments below what your favorite V. Schwab book is, or Victoria Schwab, which if you've read YA or adult. And if you have any reading goals you want to talk about and share with me as well. So you'll see throughout the year these books popping up on my TBR because, again, I have to read them by the end of the year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And I hope your cup is always full. I will talk to you later. Bye.